Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's November 3rd and it's 48 degrees here in northeast Texas and it's raining. So it's time to plant something. No, we're not going to get out there in the rain and plant something. We're going to plant something in the greenhouse. It might be 48 degrees outside, but in the greenhouse with, you wouldn't think any sun because of the overcast, but it gets enough that it warms it up because it's like 55, 56 degrees in here. And everything's still liking it. Getting an occasional tomato getting ripe, and got our little transplants sitting in here. Plenty of cherry tomatoes on the stalk or vine. And we've got this row over here. This has been vacant for too long. Now I could plant carrots outside, but they'll do a whole lot better when it starts getting cooler, when they have that extra few degrees during the daytime, when the greenhouse warms up. So I've got a 48-foot bed here, and we're fixing to put in 3 rows of carrots. Now what we did this morning was narrowed down this walkway. When we originally put these in, we built the walkways where they were 2 foot wide, but we went ahead, it was quicker just to lay down the ground cover without folding it under. So I would have come back today and folded that extra foot under, and that'll give me a little bit more room for my plants as far as planting, especially winter crops, because what we're going to do is we'll plant carrots here. We'll probably plant carrots on the other side of the greenhouse, and we're going to try to put some cilantro in here today. So I guess I better get after it. Now I have my little furrows made, and I've watered them down good. What you want to do is make sure the soil is good and wet when you're planting your carrots. And so I go ahead and make my furrows. I wet them down so they're good and wet down in them. Now what I'm going to do is select which varieties. Now it's kind of tough for me. Now I have these were ones that I planned to plant this fall, which these really get to be a long carrot, but it really depends on your ground too. But I'm going to plant these at this end because I don't know if I'm going to leave them for seed, and if I decide to leave them to go to seed, I don't want them in the middle of my bed somewhere. So these will go first. Then I've got some Denver carrots here. I've got some Imperator. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but this is a longer carrot. And then I have these red cord here, these were a nice carrot. Now the tender sweet has been kind of a small carrot, slow to grow. I might plant some of these, but I might plant these in the bed outside. For sure, I've got these Kyoto red carrots. Now these are seeds that I saved. I planted them early, and of course got cold, got warm, got cold, got warm, and so they went into their biannual cycle and went ahead and seeded on some. So I saved seeds on those. Now these are Black Nebula. I had planted some of these earlier. I have some planted outside right now. I may put a few in here. I don't know. This is not going to be top priority inside because I've already got some growing. But I do know we're going to have a few different kinds. Now this one here, it just says carrot, but I think this was a Denver too, so it's just a newer seed. So I'm going to come in and decide which one. I've also I've got some parsley, and I think I'm going to go ahead and plant some of those seeds. So I'm going to get after it. I really want to stress that when you plant your carrots, make sure that your bed is prepared good, that you have all the small weeds out. Because when your carrots start coming up and they look like little grass shoots, and you can see just some really small weeds come in here. But when they look like little grass shoots coming up, you don't want to mistake them. Now, what I want to talk about is these little hand seeders. You can buy these on Amazon, different places, but they work good for especially people like me, where your hands don't seem to work quite as well anymore. But as you can see, you can kind of evenly put the seeds, or somewhat evenly, so you don't put a whole bunch of seeds down. I still overseed because I want to make sure I got a good germination. But it doesn't take very many seeds. That little pack that I showed of those long carrots, there's 300 seeds in that pack. So, you know, when I put that down in approximately a 12-foot area, or say 36 foot of row, that's a lot of seeds. You can figure, just doing the math, when you have like 36 feet, and so you've got about roughly 10 seeds to the foot. And also there's probably more than that in there, but anyway, like I say, if you get one of these and you use it to do your seeding, just lightly sprinkle your seeds. And like I say, you might want to have a few extra there to germinate. Now, when you're doing a row way at the back there, what you're going to want to do, this works good, to prop yourself with a rake and then start sprinkling your seeds, which I can't do that with the phone in my hand. Also, where you buy your seeds is important if you want to get a good quantity for your money. Now, you can go down to the big box stores if that's what you want. These seeds here, as you can see, this was $1, and I've said this before, but these were from a local farm supply store where they carry bulk seeds. And I can't tell you how many thousands of seeds are in there for $1. So, like, I buy from some from Baker Creek, you know, and you get 300 carrot seeds for $3-4, which that's all right. But I just say, if there's a particular type of carrot that you can get local, your money goes local, and you can get a better bargain. You know, good quality seeds, and supporting your local dealers. Another reason why it might be important for you to make videos when you plant, and I do it a lot, because you know, a lot of times, even though you get a marker that's supposed to be permanent, your tags, a lot of your tags, if they get broke down by the sun, the UV rays, and so your marker ends up coming off because the outside of your tag starts releasing. But anyway, I can do these videos, and I can say that I've got this long carrot planted up here. I can say I got the Kyoto carrots planted next, and then I have the Danvers planted the rest of the way down. And then that way, if I forget what's there or can't recognize it, if I'm deciding to save seeds and I want to know what name it was, I can go back to the video and see. And also, I can go back to the video because I tried to say what date it is when I do this planting, and keep a record of this. So I hope this helps you too. Okay, when you're watering in your seeds, Now there's still some that's a little bit on the ground. I don't bury them. Since my last batch I planted, I run a test to see if it made a difference. I buried one row and I left the other 3 rows in that bed uncovered, and they all tend to germinate about the same. So just as a note, you don't have to worry about it if you're covering them. Just make sure that you moisten them down. Don't run enough water that it causes your seeds to float off. Now you would just want to water it, stir the dirt down. It'll cover some of them. Some of them be on top, but they will germinate because there's plenty of moisture. If you use the method like I do, using this double bubble insulation, it's just in fact, this is old. The inside layer of the foil is coming loose on part of it, but it's just double layer of bubbles like they use for insulating steel buildings a lot of times to reflect the sun. But anyway, I'm going to roll this on out. I'll use my homemade landscape staples here, and they penetrate through it real easy. It's just a matter of pulling it down, getting it even, and sticking these stakes through it. And I'll go every couple of feet down the side in case wind comes in through the side. If it does get warm enough, that I open up these side panels again. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cover the rest of this row. Okay, this row is finished and ready to go. Hopefully about 4 days to a week. Now the last one's come up 4 or 5 days, but it was warmer, so it's getting a little cooler. So these could take longer. They could take a week or two to germinate, but I'll just check them in about 5 days and see what they look like. Now let's go take a look at the carrots that were planted about 3 weeks ago. These carrots were planted a little over 3 weeks ago on October 10th. And as you can see, and I think that's about 24 days. But anyway, these are needing thin. They're at the size now that I need to come in here and thin these out. Now these here, they might need a little bit of thinning, but they're pretty good as far as the spacing on them. These are the Black Nebulas right here, and got a little bit of grass coming in, but there's a few spots where they might be kind of thick where you can see, so they'll need thinned out. These ones will need thinned out everywhere. These are red core carrots, and we even got, and I don't know how, but we got some cilantro coming up in here. Now this was cilantro bed, but this bed was coated over with another couple inches of compost, but it's got cilantro there and there and there, and we might leave it, but most likely we'll pull it out. Now we do have a couple of leek coming up in here, which that's fine. We'll just let it go. It's not going to affect it very much. There looks like a little one coming up too there, but anyway, we'll let that grow. But anyway, I hope this video does you some good, as far as maybe gives you a little more insight on planting carrots, and maybe get you a little more successful on planting your carrots. When we were talking about the test here, as you can see, this, if you go back to the video, this was the row that was covered over. These 3 rows over here were just watered in like we did inside, and you can see there's no real noticeable difference as far as they all look pretty much the same. This outside one might have had a little less germination, but not enough to worry about. But anyway, if you want to see more of my videos, just hit that subscribe, hit the bell button so you'll be notified, and if you like it, give it a big thumbs up. Happy gardening.